This isn't a joke. This is not a drill. I opened 340 packs of Surging Sparks, and I only pulled 2 SIRs. But I still think I'm going to be able to put every card that I'm putting into my binder for cheap or free. Let me show you how. Hello there, Steege here on my journey to catch 'em all. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how I open packs when a new set comes out. So I think first it's important to look at the numbers. So I opened, as I said, 340 packs. The title says 1,500. I'm sorry, I lied. It's only 1,425 and some change, which puts me back at about $4.20 a pack, which is pretty good compared to market price right now. I got everything for MSRP or less. So I got 4 Pokemon Center ATVs, opened those. I got a case of booster bundles from Pokemon Center. I got a booster box off of Amazon for 140, so that was pretty decent. And then I got the man, a deal from the man of a store that I've been going to for a long time and would never overcharge. In fact, they gave me a steal of a deal. They only allowed me one of these bundles, but Beckett Castle TCG is an incredible place to buy from. I got $180 for one of everything. So the booster box, the booster bundle, the ETB, both 3-pack blisters and both single pack blisters. So that's $180. You can't even buy a booster box for that, and that's everything. So that's how I got my pack price down to $4.20. I opened 2 booster boxes. One of them had no SIRs, no gold cards. It was absolute trash. I really wish Pokemon wouldn't do that, but they do. And it is what it is. But I did also pull the gold Pikachu, which is worth $200. I pulled that out of one of the 3-pack blisters. Of course, it was my son that pulled it. And if you are a parent that opens packs with your kids, God bless you. It is it's a struggle for me. He thinks the texture is so cool, and the way he wants to feel the texture on the cards, it's not like this. It's with that fingernail. He wants to like feel the vibrations through his finger. I don't understand it, but he does. So I was panicking. My wife's giving me the look like, don't get mad at him, you know, that kind of thing. But it is what it is. It escaped. And I actually do think that card is going to get a 10. So that will make up some value. But the way I make money back on my openings when I open a new set is always just grading cards. And yeah, big secret, big surprise, but you'll see. You probably saw in my thumbnail, you saw that little silly guy, Relor, looking at you upside down, backwards. And those cards are straight money if you know what you're doing. So let's look at all the cards that I picked out to grade, because like I said, I think I'm going to make all my money back with only 2 SIRs that aren't even getting graded. Okay, so let's go through all the graded cards. So Pikachu, that's obviously 200. I haven't looked up the graded values, but I'll go over them after this. Just want to show you the cards. So Pikachu EX, got all the Pikachus. Of course, these are all the hits. Didn't get very many IRs, really. I mean, I did, but I actually got quite a bit of duplicates. Batching is just a real thing. If you don't believe it, then you just haven't opened enough packs. This is the card I pulled like 3 or 4 times. Feebas is nice. All these IRs, I pulled decent more, but they just weren't 10s. They don't grade well in Scarlet and Violet. So if you get an IR that you think is a 10, pull it out of your stacks and grade it. You're gonna make more money than you would if you just kept it in your binder. This is one of the strategies. Even if you need it for your binder, if it's a 10, just grade it, make the money, buy the single with the money that you made from selling it. It's a no-brainer, and it's a tactic that all of you should be doing to make your packs cheaper. Okay, so these cards don't sell very well, like not super fast, but they do sell, not for very much, like 30 bucks, like regular EXs. This Sylveon might sell for 30, 35 bucks. Probably not, actually. Surprisingly, a card like this is going to get graded by a lot more people. than would grade this like Black Kyurem. I would almost guarantee that the pop is way more on the Sylveon. You might think the Sylveon would be worth more, and it probably does have a higher liquidity, like it will sell faster, but I could probably sell this for 30 for faster, sell this for 35 because there aren't any out there. So these are the kind of things that you'll know after you go through it a few times. And here, this is where I'm different than everybody else. And I think that this is an untapped part of the market. If everybody does it, it won't work as well, but my channel's so small. If you guys are here, take advantage of it with me. It's fun. It makes opening packs feel better. It lowers that fun cost. So this, for instance, is a Morlul. Not a popular Pokemon, but look at that freaking art. If you don't know anything about the artist, then you look at that card and you're like, dang, that is a one cool card. But if you do know, it's by Tomokazu Komiya, and that is a very popular artist. It's the popular artist that a lot of big YouTubers talk about, and it's not hard to figure out why. It's just cool. This guy has cards back into the WotC days. Like, he's been a part of the Pokemon space for a long time. So for these bulk cards, when you're opening packs, you just throw them to the side. Do you know how many bulk cards that are 10s don't even get looked at for 3 seconds of their lifetime? So many. And they're 10s. So while I may have pulled 20 more Morlul, I picked the absolute very best ones out because they'll never not be 10s again. If I put them in my bulk box without a sleeve, which I would, they'd be touching dry cardboard and get white marks. So even if in 20 years, if people really realize how cool this card really is, and it sells for $50 in a 10, all these bulk cards that are in people's bulk boxes are going to have a very low chance of being 10s because they've just been passed over. I'm not that guy, and I don't recommend you be that guy, because there are people out there that will literally just buy me out consistently of all my Tomokazu slabs. You'll see through this, there's more than just that, but so all these, I'll probably list the non-hollows for 30, depending on the pop. If it's a pop 1 when I grade it, I'll list it for 50, and I would almost guarantee you people will buy it. Non-hollows, $30. I'm not trying to be crazy with it, but when I'm the only one out there, I control the market. So even if a couple more people come out, if you make your store attractive, like I'm a top seller, so I got that star next to my name, people will buy from you. So here's the guy on the thumbnail. Look at that dude. Okay, it's a silly card. It's not a popular artist, not a popular Pokemon, but that art just catches your eye. He's got, like, it almost looks like a mustache. It's just silly. And if you watch Cool Trainer Ryan, he talks about this card. This is a card that means something to him and his community. So if you watch other YouTubers and there's something that they care about, like Tomokazu, that's Real Breaking Nate's favorite artist. That matters. Pay attention to the culture of Pokemon. This stuff matters. So again, I'll never not have these 10s as a Railor, so I'm not going to send them all to grade at one time. I'll send one at a time. When one sells, I'll send the next one to grade. So this is not something where I'm just going to send all these off, and then when they'll come back, immediately I can sell them, I'll get all my money back. This is a long process. I'm going to make a subsequent video showing you how I've done for all the past sets, and I'll tell you now, I'm in the green on almost all of them. And this isn't a joke. This is not a drill, you know. So here's another cool artist, Yukiko Baba, and this little Strudel is just drawing a little sketch on a rock. I think it's absolutely adorable, and this artist has caught my eye over time, so I imagine that he's caught other people's eye over time, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Snorlax is a card that always sells. Every non-haul I've ever had has sold. I am constantly out of Snorlaxes. I cannot have enough of them. I think I sold the Twilight Masquerade non-hollow for $70 in a pop 1. Like I said, this is not a drill. Alright, I'm going to speed up. I'll talk about it. The reverses are even money, but they are so hard to get in 10s. Like, the print quality, there's print lines, it's really bad. Like, it actually is a ton of work to look for 10s in these sets. So Spheal, oh, I gotta show you guys. I'll show you now. So these 4 cards in this set all come together to make art. I'll put the magic on the screen now. I made a short for it, didn't end up putting it out because editing shorts is not my favorite thing. But that's why I graded this card. I kind of want to grade all these T0 cards together, kind of get a sequential set of this conjoined art. I think it'd be cool. Sunset on Stunfisk is great. I mean, not for me, but it's like waifu reverse. Figured it'd be worth a shot. Selling this guy in reverse, worth a shot. So another very popular artist is Cao Cao. So I think SM Pratt, he talks about Cao Cao a lot. I think that's his favorite artist. Uxie, legendary Pokemon, cool. Vulpix, a beloved Pokemon from the base set. Xerneas, legendary, cool card. People do collect graded sets of every set, so even the rare cards or that aren't cool Pokemon, I haven't really experimented with too much, but I would expect them to sell if they're low pop. Like, you'd be surprised how many people are out. Oh, there's another reverse Mortal. Ninetales, popular Pokemon. Legendary in the sky with the same background as like the Latios and the Latias. I think it'd be cool. Latios is a very beloved Pokemon. More reverses. Again, I'm not going to send all these at once, but once they're not a 10, they're not a 10 forever. This is an artist that has popped so hard recently because of the Giratina. Shinji Kanda. Amazing. I had somebody buy out all my Shinji Kanda slabs the other day for like $200. Uh-oh, popular. This card is so awesome. Look at this freaking card. And these reverses of these ancient or future Pokemon just being a different version of reverse. I just think this card is so cool. This is a card that probably will have low pop, and I'm going to list high because I just think it's incredible. Again, Fuecoco, starter, just sitting on the side, watching. Very cool. Feebas with the melodic in the set. I thought people would like it. This is another card that this means something to Cool Trainer Ryan, all his cats, and his little baby Espers, Cute Pokemon, worth a shot. Diglett's another one I got from him. They're a little sticking up behind the mountain. I just think this is a cool looking card. It's worth a shot. Again, if it sits on my shelf for a year, who cares? It's $15 and 10 cents in my bulk box. It's worth trying to get the money out of it, in my opinion. And I will. I've proven it over time. Man, you can tell I watch a little bit of Cool Trainer Ryan, but this card is absolutely silly. Chill teaser toy, like, really? I assume it's for the little Esper girl, but Pokemon. Charcadet, just a cool card, top of the volcano. Just Charcadet's a cool Pokemon. It's one that I picked in Scarlet and Violet. I used in my playthrough, and I love it. Castform. This is a very cool card. It's not an artist I had heard of before. Osare, but cool. Applin, Yukamori. This is another artist that gets bought out from me all the time, and that's another artist that goes back to WotC. Quaxley, starter, another starter line. Palkia is just a cool Pokemon. And again, that's all the graded cards. So I'll give you the final numbers here. So here are the results in spreadsheet format. I'll do the highlights for you. So I put all the graded cards here. There were 75 that were like that common range. I just put a basic value, 15 for PSA 9, because I have a mystery PSA 9 listing that's sold 50 items. People just want to buy random Pokemon cards. Mostly, I'm guessing it's parents that don't care. Their kids like Pokemon. They don't care if it's a 9. They just want to get random Pokemon. They don't want to pick it out. They just want easy. So I sell all my 9s in that list. Not all. I list separately and some do sell, but most of them sell in that 9 listing, and they all sell for 15. So that's what I have there. And then for just the basic estimate, I used $30, even though as I told you, I will be increasing that for the low pop and the super popular ones or the super artist ones. But for this guess, we're going to look at everything as the lowest estimate just to be safe. So the current gem rate for PSA is 56%. I plan on going over another value, looking at some trends there that are extremely interesting. But so I used that to help me find the expected value, and I just went and found the price for all the cards, and the total PSA 10 value would be $35.88, the total PSA 9 value would be $15.35, but when you take out the estimated value, the total expected value would be $25.69, 12.5% selling fees, $3.21 grading fees. For me, I've been recently grading at $13.26 when I send a bunch at their sale costs. So the total graded cost would be $11.40, which means the total minimum return. This gem rate is true, but I was very strict on these cards, especially the big hits where, like this Pikachu, I wouldn't send if it's not a 10 because I could sell it for 200 today raw, so there's no point. So I assume that one's going to get 500, but that's not in the calculation. But just for the purpose of this video, I'm just trying to show you what you can do with value in Pokemon. So the minimum total return is $11.07. As I said at the beginning, I spent $14.25. I have a whole box of bulk cards. I have a full binder. The hits in my binder, just the hits, none of the reverses and all the bulk that would end up costing money, especially when you have to pay for shipping and all that. But I didn't, so that value is $302, which gives me a total value of $14.09. $300 for my binder, $14.09 back in my pocket, and a bunch of bulk. And again, that is the absolute minimum. The absolute minimum is that, which means that I pulled value. I pulled my value out of my Surging Sparks packs. And that was with terrible luck, minimum calculations, only 2 SIRs. I know it's like 1 out of 100 is the SIR rate, but really I got 2 out of 340 packs. That's actually absurd and terrible pull rates. You pull Pikachu, this number immediately goes over. You pull a couple more SIRs, that number immediately goes over. You pull a couple Latios IRs, that number immediately goes over. I got all the crappy IRs. This is how I do new sets. It's more fun. It keeps me engaged. I'm not just opening packs and looking for the next pack. It gives me work to do. It keeps me from spending money on more packs because I have to do all this work in order to make my money back in order to buy more packs. It allows me to fill up my binders for cheaper, for free. And this is how you can collect Pokemon. After all that, in conclusion, Pokemon's a heck of a hobby, and there's so much you can do with it. There's so many untapped markets. I would almost assume that every person in here learned at least one thing in this video, or saw something that they weren't expecting. And that's what Pokemon is all about. There's something for everybody. If you are trying to survive in this hobby, understand that, take advantage of that, help other people complete their collections by taking advantage of it yourself. If you did learn something, please like, subscribe, comment what you learned, comment if you have questions. And I really appreciate you all for joining me on my journey to catch them all.